In this video, we'll understand why some signals will excite a neuron and why some signals will inhibit the neurons. Okay, for that we need to understand excitatory postsynaptic potential and inhibitory postsynaptic potential. Excitatory postsynaptic potential is nothing but it is a depolarizing change which we see in the postsynaptic neuron. For that reason, we'll just understand now this first neuron is a presynaptic neuron. The second neuron which we have drawn here is a postsynaptic neuron. Clear? Now, whenever a presynaptic neuron releases an excitatory neurotransmitter glutamate, what happens in the postsynaptic neuron is that large amount of sodium ions or a positive ions start entering into the neuron. So this will bring the resting membrane potential from minus 70 to minus 60, minus 50, minus 40 till it reaches a threshold. Once the threshold is reached, an action potential fires. Clear? So any change which brings the membrane potential from resting membrane potential to threshold is what is excitatory postsynaptic potential. And this is happening because large amount of positive ions are entering into the neurons. Now IPSP meaning it is a hyperpolarizing change, meaning we'll take an example of a inhibitory neurotransmitter that is GABA. The main action of GABA is it allows chloride ions. So there's large amount of negative ions entering into the neuron or some neurotransmitters, negative or inhibitor neurotransmitters. What it can do is it will allow potassium ions to go out. Potassium ion being a positive ion, if it keeps moving outside, the inside becomes more and more negative. Clear? See, initially the resting membrane potential will take it as minus 70. Now, large amount of negative ions are entering. So what will happen? The negativity from minus 70 keeps going down, 80, 90. So it becomes more negative. So the membrane potential RMP becomes more negative. So that is what it inhibits the development of an action potential. So remember, EPSP and IPSP are called as graded potential. Clear? It is not an action potential. Remember that, okay? Now, what is the difference is main thing, remember, a neuron will decide whether to fire an action potential or not depending on how many EPSP and IPSPs are formed. It means it will summate. For example, see here, a presynaptic potential is acting on a postsynaptic potential. Okay, and there is a presynaptic neuron is acting on a postsynaptic neuron. There are 3-4 synapses forming. Two are producing EPSP and one is producing IPSP. What will happen? The postsynaptic neuron will summate this and start firing action potential because there are two EPSPs forming but only one IPSP. So summation happens at the cell body of postsynaptic neuron. So these EPSP or IPSP are